My friends, how are you? It is fantastic to see you for yet another video. Today we are going to talk about some news coming out about Canada's response to Donald Trump's absolute nonsense and how it is proving to be effective against Donald Trump and the people that enable Donald Trump. That's right, my friends. The bourbon and whiskey makers are struggling in Kentucky because of Donald Trump's tariffs and 51st state rhetoric. So we have 100% got to talk about that, but that's interesting because I'm actually in Kentucky right now, which is pretty rare for me. Just a few hours ago, I was over in Tennessee, but you're the only 10 I see. So anyways, yeah, I dropped a little pickup line on you guys to start the video. How you like that? Name one other political content creator that does that, all right? Anyways, let's get into what's going on. So you guys know that I have taken a great interest in Canada's response to America ever since Donald Trump has come into office. The reason for that, one of the biggest reasons for that is because I'm surprised that it's happening. And that's not to take any credit away from the Canadian people. Since I started this channel, I have learned a lot about the Canadian people. You guys are always happy to educate me on what's going on. But I was surprised by it because being raised in America, I was told this was a democracy where people's voices matter. You go out and you exercise your constitutional rights to vote for your own leadership. And slowly, ever since Donald Trump has been in the political scene, we have watched as all of these things have fallen apart right in front of our eyes over the years. We have watched as the courts have bowed down to Donald Trump over and over repeatedly. They gave him presidential immunity, which doesn't sound like a good idea, right? That doesn't sound like a very good democracy to me. We've watched as all these elected Republicans who took an oath to the Constitution to defend the Constitution and the rights of the American people against any threats, foreign or domestic. As you can tell, I haven't taken that oath myself. I'm just kind of winging it here, you know. We've watched, though, as those very same people have bowed down to Donald Trump and have enabled him and have allowed him to do whatever he wants. We've watched as Trump supporters all over the country have talked about what patriots they are and how they're here to be Americans and they care about our rights and freedoms, all while cheering their own rights and freedoms being trampled on by Donald Trump. So what I'm saying is we've watched as America has fallen very far from what I was told that it was all this time I was growing up in this country. And I wouldn't have been surprised, my friends, if another country had just chosen to roll over and take it the way that the entire system has done it. So I'll be honest with you. When this whole thing started with Donald Trump and his beef with Canada, all because Melania and Ivanka wanted to fuck Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump is a very jealous man, I 100% thought that Canada was going to be like, oh, whatever you need, sir, what is it we can do to make you happy? What can we do? Because I have watched it happen so much over and over in America. And I have to be honest, I am pleasantly surprised by the response and how effective it's been and how much Canada has put Donald Trump in his fucking place, which, look, I'm being honest, America has failed to do so far. We're trying, shit's happening, we're obviously moving very slowly. We're not nearly as effective as we should have been, but we're finally starting to get our shit together. As you guys know, the last few videos have been me kind of celebrating the good things that people are doing because I want to highlight those. I want to emphasize those. I do not want to have a channel where we just talk about how it's all going to end. If people are out there fighting, goddammit, I'm going to support those people. You know, we celebrated Gavin Newsom standing up to Donald Trump through the money we've raised on this channel that we've made through these videos. I sent quite a bit of money to Gavin Newsom that caused a lot of you guys to send some money, not to Gavin Newsom, but to the campaign to fight back against Texas gerrymandering the state so that Republicans will win there. We've done good things, right? And we've talked about the people going out to town halls and standing up, the people going out there and protesting, and all these really good things that are finally starting to happen in America that gives me a little bit of faith, a little bit of hope, my friends. But Canada has done a very, very effective job when it comes to standing up to Donald Trump and all of the people that enable him. You know, it started, of course, with all the boycotts and the travel. The travel is really the tourism. That's the word I'm looking for. The tourism is really hitting America hard. You've got cities like Las Vegas, and somebody told me all the like border towns up there on the Canada-American border are suffering very much because of these Donald Trump policies. And look, it's unfortunate, but I've said it and I'll say it again. This is what needs to happen. This American arrogance that we can just steamroll the rest of the world is fucking stupid. We live in a global economy where if we could just get our heads out of our asses, we would realize we can all work together to make things better for the citizens of both countries. But we're over here doing stupid shit, and we deserve to pay the consequences of it. And I don't mean that to the people in America that are like me that didn't vote for this bullshit, but at this point, a bunch of people in red hats need to be put in their place and need to figure out that their decisions, their votes, have fucking consequences. So to get back to the point I want to touch on this video is Jack Daniels has reported a 62% drop in sales in their Canadian market because the Canadian people have said, we are not going to buy American products while Donald Trump is starting trade wars with us, while Donald Trump is putting our citizens out of work because of his trade wars, while Donald Trump is working to fuck up our supply chain rather, and also while Donald Trump is threatening to turn us into the 51st fucking state. We don't have time for this bullshit. And I'm proud of you, Canadians. I really am. Y'all surprised me a little bit. If I have to push back a little bit, what do you mean a 62% drop? What's going on with that other 38%? Is that Alberta? Alberta, are you doing that? I'm just kidding. I don't know dick about Alberta. I just have to go by what you guys tell me in the comments. So I don't know who to blame for that. I think it's 38%. I was educated in America, my friends. 38% that should have also been added to that to make it a 100% drop in sales for Jack Daniels products in Canada. But hey, the 62% drop is still pretty fucking impressive. And it's interesting for a couple reasons. One, it's a fucking direct hit. Like, talk about fucking making the people that voted for Donald Trump pay for their own stupidity. That's about as direct of a hit as it gets. If you could fucking bankrupt Texas while you're at it, that'd be cool. That'd be okay. I'd be fine with that. But anyways, Kentucky's a little bit interesting, I would say. Andy Beshear is the governor, and he's a Democrat. I don't know a whole lot about him necessarily, but when somebody told me he was a Democrat, that was back when I first started this channel, I was shocked that a Democrat won an election in Kentucky. There's maybe something about Kentucky that I don't understand how he got to that spot. And a lot of people say that he's a strong candidate for the next presidential election. I don't know enough about him. I just hope we make it to those primaries. But there I will be willing to listen to what everyone has to say. But other parts about Kentucky that are super interesting is there is some resistance to Donald Trump sometimes in the Republican Party from the Kentucky representatives. So that makes it a little bit more spicy, I guess, a little bit more interesting, as they've got Thomas Massie, who is one of the very few Republicans that are actively working to get the Epstein files released. So we got to keep an eye on him and see kind of what his intentions are, but he is one of those guys. They've also got Rand Paul. Rand Paul is somewhat opposed to Donald Trump's tariffs, I believe. I should have checked this, but I didn't. I believe he was one of the people that voted to take away Donald Trump's power with the tariffs, but it didn't pass the Senate. But I believe Rand Paul was on our side of that. Either way, Rand Paul is not on board with Donald Trump's mass sweeping tariffs. I was talking to my good friend Guard the Leaf about that earlier. We were kind of talking a little bit back and forth, and he says, so Rand Paul kind of goes along with Donald Trump then, unless it affects him negatively. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's it. You got it figured out. This is how this works in America, right? Is not we, but a lot of Americans cheer for the bullshit that Donald Trump's doing, and then they get all upset when it affects them negatively, like they're fucking shocked by it. Hey, stupid, pay attention. This is the thing you voted for. But I did want to point that out, that Kentucky is at least a little bit interesting in some sort of resistance to Donald Trump. But like I said, overwhelmingly, Kentucky comes out, votes red, votes for the Republican Party. From what I found on the internet, only one of their congressmen is a Democrat. And as far as any other kind of Democratic representation with any kind of impact, it would be Andy Beshear. It's like those two. Now, they may have some people at the state level and whatever, House, Senate, whatever they got going on there. But those are the only ones that are like somewhat meaningful, I suppose. I don't mean to say that the others aren't meaningful. There's probably just very few of them, is the point I'm trying to make. On the national level, it's just the one guy. I forgot his fucking name already. I forgot his fucking name. But like I said, that is very targeted, very specifically by Canada, does some work to bankrupt one of the states that cheers for Donald Trump's bullshit. And hey, you gotta love that. You gotta be fucking excited about that. So yeah, the bourbon makers, the whiskey makers are freaking the fuck out because Canadians will not buy their products now. And hell, that's all pretty interesting, my friends. That's all I had on that, but I do want to talk a little bit about something else that I sort of found interesting that I meant to cover a few days ago. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I took a day off. I just didn't feel like recording a video a few days ago, and I didn't. I was kind of really pressed for time. I've been running my ass off, my friends. They've been making me work hard. I've been getting up at like 1 in the morning to go fucking run hard. I did that yesterday to get through Nashville because I didn't want to hit it the Friday before, right at fucking rush hour. So I was up at 1 in the morning, and I've been really bad at responding to people. As a matter of fact, I need to apologize and say thanks real quick. I noticed that there's been a lot of super thanks coming in on the videos and new channel memberships on this. Thank you, guys. Thank you. There's more to talk about. I'm going to talk about Mark Carney and sort of the thorough ass kicking he's given Donald Trump here in a minute. If you can just hang tight while I say thank you, because normally I go through the super thanks personally, and I will thank you personally for them, and I don't know if I've gotten to all of them because I've been really busy over here. So thank you for your support, and I will look through those later today to make sure I thank you personally for anybody that's supporting the channel in that way. To me, it matters. But anyways, I was watching a couple days ago as Mark Carney was in, I'm probably going to fuck up the name of this, but I believe it's Latvia, I don't really know. And he was talking about sort of Canada's sort of military inspirations to strengthen their military, to help the European countries strengthen their military and build better alliances and all these things. And he said it is important, not verbatim, but he said it is very important for us to do that because of rising threats occurring in the world. And I believe that he was 100% speaking about Donald Trump when he said that. And I know recently we've talked a little bit about how Canada is responding to Donald Trump, and I had said that I feel like Mark Carney is sort of positioning Canada to have more power in the world. And I may have used the wrong word when I said that. I sometimes struggle with words. But what I'm seeing from Canada right now is a very, very focused effort to increase Canada's, let's say, global influence. How about that? Is that a better word? Global influence, as they are proving to be a strong ally to different countries around the world. Their support to Ukraine, their support to, I would assume, NATO. I don't fucking know. We're going to get fucking kicked out of NATO, America. We're going to get kicked out of that shit. I got a feeling something's going to happen because recently Donald Trump got caught spying on fucking Greenland, right? Yeah, Greenland. Because remember how he wanted to take that over also. And I'm surprised that we haven't had our asses handed to us over that. Spying on an ally. Interesting times that we're living in. But as I was watching Mark Carney give that speech, it kind of leaned into the thing I was saying about Canada, and I really, really do believe that Canada right now is emerging as a global leader. And if that's the leadership you guys are going to keep, like, that's fine. You can do that. You can continue to grow your influence. Listen, though, my Canadian friends, there was a time in America where we elected a charismatic, intelligent, steady hand global or leader, president, that did a really good job for the American people, okay? My Canadian friends, don't fuck this up, all right? Because our response to that was to elect Donald Trump afterwards. So I beg you, please do not fuck this up. But as I see, of course, Canada's response to America and not rolling over and backing down to Donald Trump and his demands, obviously that was a very impressive thing. Bullies don't like when people stand up to them, and they crumble every fucking time. They fold every time, my friends. And that's what Donald Trump has done. He has folded. He's basically shut his fucking mouth about Canada. He shut his fucking mouth about the 51st state thing. But while Donald Trump was starting all of these trade wars, and threatening to annex other countries, what I've seen is Canada, what am I trying to say? Canada has, there's a fucking word for it. God damn. But strengthened, it's so funny when I forget basic words, isn't it? God damn it. Has strengthened their sort of trade agreements all over the world, and has worked with other countries to build stronger relationships. And Canada has worked to attract industry. I heard from an Uber driver, now that's my source for this thing I'm about to tell you. I heard from an Uber driver there are a lot of industries leaving America that are moving to Canada. Now, I've heard that from a couple different sources, and I haven't done any actual research on it, but that does kind of make it interesting if you hear a few different sources say that that is happening. But Canada's looking to, you know, like I said, grow that global influence, be a strong ally through trade, through military to a lot of other countries. And I find that to be very interesting, because when Donald Trump came in and decided that he was going to absolutely obliterate America's global influence, it did leave a gap there. It left room for someone to step up and fucking do it, to take care of it. So that appears that that's what Canada is doing right now. So when I said power, I didn't mean that y'all were gonna fucking grow a huge military and then start bombing us or anything like that. I mean, when it comes to the trade partners, the military strength, the military alliances, you know, doing the right thing instead of the wrong thing, the attracting new industry and new businesses to Canada. You guys are handling this very well. You're doing a really good job of just taking that portion of the power that Donald Trump wanted to give up and wanted America to give up, and you're basically fucking running with it, all right? And like I was saying earlier before I so rudely interrupted myself, listen, if this is the kind of leaders you're going to be, if you're going to have like that calm, steady, intelligent Mark Carney fucking running the show and helping to make good decisions, and you guys are going to be supportive of those things, I don't see the fucking harm in it, all right? Just don't fuck around in your next election and do some stupid shit, okay? We would all appreciate that. Use us as an example. Remember the dumb shit we did, and just don't do that, because what you've got right now is a great opportunity to do something with the bullshit we're fucking up. You've got a leader that seems to understand what he's doing, and I would be very disappointed in you if 10 years from now I'm making a video. I probably won't be around here 10 years from now. I vape a lot. But what I'm trying to say is I don't want to make a video in the future talking about how Canada elected a complete fucking jackass. What you have right now is precious, it's special, and it can all go away if too many dumb sons of bitches make really poor decisions, all right? So I wish you luck, and don't fuck up, all right? Anyways, with that said, I should get back to work. I've been sitting around here for like a couple hours because I just realized I'm a day ahead of schedule. So I took some time to myself today to just relax a little bit. Anyways, I better get back to it. Love you guys. Bye now.